Hi, this is Sean, and this channel is called Wolf Dog Moon. Today we're going to be looking at, on Tea Manga, the epic Berserk. Now if you like this kind of content, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, it doesn't cost you a dime, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on our next video, and comment down below, let us know what you think. Let's get into this. Okay, Berserk is an intense, dark fantasy manga, and it has a lot of what I would call heavy metal elements to it, and a lot of machismo, a lot of butt kicking and hardcore action, and a lot of intense and sometimes graphic content that shocks you. As the main character, his name is, he's called Guts, and he goes on this harrowing quest and journey to defeat these dark demons. They're very hideous, sadistic, psychopathic, you name it, the most terrible kinds of demons and enemies that you would ever want to face or not face in this case. The stuff of nightmares, basically. He takes on the most horrific nightmare that any hardened battle warrior would face. He wields a massive sword that it's such a huge and heavy chunk of metal that he's one of the only ones that can even lift it, never mind wield it with supreme confidence and skill. So in a minute I'll take you into the manga, but similar to one of my other previous reviews, this one even comes with the explicit content parental advisory, and so this is meant for it's got content not suitable for all audiences because of the dark nature and intense, and also other aspects that are very dark and are not necessarily suitable for all audiences. So I'd put this in the category of, if you're old enough, like you're an older, 18 or and older. I'm not sure how they do the ratings on this one. Yeah, it says for readers 18 plus, for mature readers. And because of the subject matter, it is very intense, and there's elements because you have the demons. You're having cult worship in here. He has to take down cult worshippers and demonically possessed rulers, and there are levels of corruption that go beyond just the typical kinds of corruption you would see in government. It is another level of dark. So with that warning aside, this is one of the greatest manga to have come out, and you go on this it's a grand saga, and you go on this grand journey that plays out in around 50 volumes, and there's elements of it that is so shocking but memorable that it'll leave you talking about it and thinking about it for years to come. So the artist is Kentaro Miura, and unfortunately I think he passed away last year or the year before. I think it was last year, and unfortunately I think he might have been able to finish the series before he passed away, but it's unfortunate because we lost a great talent in the manga community. But this is an amazing epic, and if you can stomach some of the darker elements and horrific consequences of some of the situations that unfold, that Guts has, the main character Guts has to face. I mean, he faces some just horrific nightmarish creatures, and often the demons take on the appearance of men and women, and so he has to sort out basically friend from foe, and he's very much at the beginning of his journey, he's completely alone and constantly haunted by these demonic forces, because he's essentially branded so that the demons seek out him to destroy him as he's seeking to destroy them. It's the best way I can put it is that this is an epic battle hardened soul here and guts, and that he has to face some just horrific challenges and overcome them. And because he has such determination and such fortitude and self and spirit and willpower, he's able to push forward when others would either fall or be killed or give up. So this is an excellent manga. I'm going to take you to the back here. Let's see what it says here. His name is Guts, the Black Swordsman, a feared warrior spoken of only in whispers, bearer of a gigantic sword, an iron hand, and the scars of countless battles and tortures. His flesh is also indelibly marked with the brand, an unholy symbol that draws the forces of darkness to him and dooms him as their sacrifice. And he has to push forward when others would turn back or give up. So my final thoughts before I do that, I'll just show you a couple pages of the manga, because again, we got some intense and explicit content in here. And if you've seen movies like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, if you've seen Lethal Weapon, if you've seen some of the old school fantasy movies that came out in the 80s, then you'll be able to handle this as well. If you've seen movies like Heavy Metal, the cartoon movie, or movies like Fire and Ice, then I'm pretty sure that, or the artwork by people like Frank Frazetta, then I think that you'd be able to handle this. Otherwise, just note that the parental advisory. So let's just take a quick peek inside at some of the drawing style. It's a combination of a lot of dark areas, like bold blacks, and then they have like these shadings that they do. And this deals with knights and warriors and princesses and etc. And you got fairies and all sorts of weaponry and there's whimsical aspects that break up the dark areas in the story. So it's got violent stuff. So another thing I would like, if you've seen Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger, or you read the Conan comic books and you've never read Berserk, I would definitely recommend Berserk for you. You would especially enjoy it. So my final thoughts: the art style is very aggressive, and there's a lot of action, big huge action scenes that'll take up an entire panel, sometimes 2 panels. And so the characters in this are very memorable that Guts meets along the way. He starts out alone and he quickly finds friendship in the oddest places, and each step he takes along the way, he's alone, but others join in to lend him a hand, whether he wants them to or not, is the best way I put it. So without spoiling it, there are a lot of interesting characters that he joins up with along the way. It also will flash back and show you how he ends up where the story begins. So you get a lot of flashbacks to show how he has developed into this warrior, this black swordsman. And the villains in this, they're really intense and extremely memorable, with very dark and sadistic aspects to them, and that Guts has to overcome. So my final thoughts: if you can handle the sometimes graphic nature and also sometimes darker occultish elements where he's taking on these horrific demons and some of those aspects to it, the idol worshipping stuff that the Bible talks about in detail. If you can handle those type of things, then I think you will really enjoy Berserk. And I think this is an amazing journey that you go on, and so I highly recommend this one. So we hope that this video finds you having an amazing day, and we want you to have a blessed day and that your spirits remain high. Signing out.